We, the students of classes 4 and 5 from D.A.V. Matric, Gill, Nagar, standing before you to present the tableau on the topic Bhakti Sadhana, practice of devotion. Four friends always spend time together, but one of them constantly meditates whenever he finds time. One day when the friends found him meditating alone and they wanted to know why he does that. And they asked him the reason. So come, let's see what reason he gives for that.
Because I am devoted to it. It gives me joy and contentment.
What do you mean by devotion to something? What do you mean by devoted to something? What does it even give you?
Devotion is a blissful fear. It is called bhakti.
But praying is different from what you are doing. Then why are you even saying the word bhakti?
Okay, then let me explain to you all the real meaning of the word bhakti. Bhakti means devotion. This does not necessarily mean devotion to God, anybody, anything specific. Oh, the bhakti can be practiced towards anything with the pure divine love. Therefore, one can be devoted with the pure heart. For example, Matru Bhakti, Pitru Bhakti, Guru Bhakti, Desa Bhakti, Samaja Bhakti, and what not?
So you say that pure, unconditional, eternal love is called devotion?
Yes, it is indeed. That is why Bhakti has of many kinds. It is also considered as a form of yoga.
Many types of bhakti. Quite interesting. Can you explain little more on that?
Oh, sure. There are many types of bhakti like the Navasas. Some of them are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Archanam, Bandhanam, etc. For example, Shravanam means hearing. One can listen to the songs, the praises of the object of devotion and practice bhakti this way.
So you are saying that we must be praying, worshipping all the time?
Not at all. It is not strictly confined to God. Alone in our Paramparaya, we say in Tamil, Anbe Sivam, Sivane Anbu. Love is God, God is love. There are many dimensions to bhakti.
What do you mean by this? What do they convey?
It means that you have to look at your object of devotion. Says God, for instance, as your friend, your spiritual master, your parent. Hence in Bhagavad Gita, there is a separate chapter called Bhakti Yoga. Krishna says interestingly,
Advesta sarva bhutana maitah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahamkarah savaduka sukakshami santushtah satatam yogi yattatmadidhanistayah mayyarpita manobuddhiryo madbhaktah samepriyah.
Wow, we did not know that bhakti has these many attributes and facts. But what do you get out of bhakti? By practicing devotion, do you have any reference for that also?
of course, and Hindi, Narada Bhakti Sutras. Devotion is Parama Prema Rupa, love and pure compassion towards all, basking in unconditional love, Amrita Svarupa. It's like nectar fruits of bhakti. the great poet Thiruvalluvar has said, "Katradana Ayapan, Enkol Valarivan, Natra Tolarin." This has even been translated in Sanskritam.
समस्तशास्त्र चिन्तनै अहर्निशं च किं परं महेशपादवन्दनं हृदयापि नादनोति चेतः.
This shows how much of importance has been given to bhakti by the scholars and poets.
Yes, now I can recollect. There are many revolutionary missionaries like Swami Vivekananda ji, Swami Dayanand Saraswati Mahoday, who were devoted to social upliftment and reforms. Their devotion towards service to humanity is their bhakti sadhana.
Anything that is held divine in one's heart with utmost dedication and love is nothing but bhakti. Hence, bhakti beyond any bars of caste, creed, age, gender, social status, educational qualification or economic status.
As our Swamiji says, empathy is the key even to bhakti. Highest and deepest level of the enhanced empathy is bhakti. It is a state of pure bliss. Sachinanandam Paramanandam. Dhanyavadaha.
In connection to the tableau presented, our school choir of classes 4 and 5 are here to present two bhajans, Tamil followed by Sanskritam. Here's the gist of the song. Maname Ori Koilagum, written and composed by our music sir. Our mind is a temple and love is its gateway. Great trees slumber within a small shade. One day they grow tall for reaching all the sky. Life begins as an essence within us. All is and dissolves is His divine play. If we realize this truth, goodness will manifest. By His grace, we enter this world. Nurtured by His grace, let us humbly bow and rejoice in devotion. Darkness blankets the world from the west, but the next day a new dawn emerges from the east. Countless challenges persist in our life, yet through devotion they dissolve like morning dew. Devotion is like a gentle stream that flows effortlessly towards the ocean of divine love. So let us join in harmony, offering our devotion through our school choir. Namaste and thank you.
बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः ॐ नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Respected audience gathered over here, at the outset, my hearty congratulations to the wonderful program by the tiny kids from the class 4 and 5 of the D.A.V. Nagar campus. My pranams to the principal, to the Parthasarthi sir, the music master, Arya, and the headmistress ma'am, and other teachers also assembled over here. Thank you so much. A wonderful program. I'll pick up the clue from the Sanskrit. They sung a Sanskrit bhajan, right? And it says, Bhagavan Padiya Bhaktim Swante Sada Bhareyam Vedokta Dharma Karyam Naknam Dinam Videyam. So in the second line, there are two words. There is Veda and Dharma. It says Vedokta Dharma Karya. That means, as the Vedas say, that kind of Karya, Dharma Karya, is what we should be doing on an everyday basis. Broadly. So two key aspects over here are Veda and Dharma. So let's understand these two concepts in about a few minutes, because they are extremely relevant for our everyday life. And also, with regard to these two concepts, there is also a lot of confusion that exists in the society. So first over here, I think is Dharma. So Dharma, as such, when think about it, generally people tend to think Dharma as religion. And this once again, like you have Hindu, Christian, Muslim, etc. Right? That's the broad understanding, right? When you use the word Dharma. But the Shastras clearly specify that Dharma is very different. Religion is different. Right? We use the word Sanatan Dharma, and there's also some controversy around it as to Sanatan Dharma, etc. But actually, think about it, what does Dharma mean? Dharma means righteousness, the duty that you need to do every day, right? You do helping anyone is Dharma. Speaking the truth is Dharma, right? Being disciplined is Dharma. Integrity is Dharma. Honesty is Dharma. And Dharma is applicable to each and every one of us, irrespective of which religion we could be belonging to. Religion, remember, is only a system or a faith, or a system or a faith of, it's a system or a faith that is followed by a group of people. Right? Religion, that's why if you think about it, is all, I would say, in some sense, man-made and relatively very, very recent. Why do I say very recent? If you look at Christianity, how many years old? About 2000 years old. We are in 2024 AD now. Right? So Christianity is 2000 years old. How old is Islam? Prophet Muhammad lived around 500 AD. That means Islam is about 1500 years old. How old is Sikhism? So Guru Nanak, he lived around 1500 AD. That means Sikhism is only about 500 years old. How old is Jainism? Lord Mahavira lived around 500 BC. That makes Jainism about 2500 years old. What about Buddhism? Once again, Lord Buddha and Lord Mahavira were contemporaries. So Buddhism is once again about 2500 years old. How long have human beings existed on this planet? People say lakhs, but let's leave those large numbers. But at least, we at least have definitely believe on the Indus Valley civilization. All the archaeological evidence is there, right? At least 7,000 years old, the Indus Valley civilization. So now in that context, when you think about it, all these modern day religions, which is 2000, 2500, 500, 1500, right, years old. What were human beings following prior to that? Right? There was always this concept of dharma. This dharma is eternal and is for each one of us. Religions are man-made. Even the word Hinduism, you must be wondering. So the word Hinduism is only about 800 to 1000 years old. It was coined when the Muslims or the Mughals, they invaded the Indian subcontinent. And the people living on the eastern side of the river Sindhu, which is today referred as the river Indus, from where you get the word India. Right? So people living on the eastern side of the river Sindhu were loosely referred to as the Hindus. You can take the entire Vedas, the 20,300 odd mantras in the Vedas, there is not a single word Hindu. You can take the entire Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters, not a single word Hindu. So, whether it be Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Jainism, all these words did not even exist, right, couple of thousand years back. But Dharma did. So that's the quick 5-minute introduction on the word Dharma. Now let's look at the word Veda. So, in any part of the world, if there is a quiz competition even today, and someone asks in the quiz competition, which are the oldest books or body of knowledge in the library of humans, you will say it's a uniform answer across the world of knowledge. It is the Vedas. Let me take you back to 1800s, and you had Thomas Edison, who had invented the light bulb, right? And along with the light bulb, he also invented one very other important instrument, which is the gramophone. So Thomas Edison, he invented the light bulb. He also invented the gramophone. This gramophone, for the first time in contemporary human history, could record a human voice. Today it's extremely simple, isn't it? On a mobile phone, etc., we can keep making recordings. But at that point of time, right, the first time from this gramophone, and you had those tapes. I'm sure many of us over here will remember. I remember as a child, we had those tapes on which, right, the sound would get recorded, right? So this gramophone was invented by Thomas Edison, and he was wondering as to whom should he call, or whose voice should he record on this gramophone. After a lot of deliberation, he zeroed in on this great German scholar called Max Muller. He approached Max Muller and he requested him to, in a way, inaugurate the gramophone. Both of them decided that there was an upcoming conference in Europe at that point of time, in a few months down the line, and they decided that would be the right time to, in a way, inaugurate the gramophone. Max Muller agreed. The day arrived. Over there you had scholars from all over Europe. Some were from Spain, from UK, from different parts of the continent. The gramophone was brought onto the stage. Max Muller also came to the stage. He uttered into the gramophone. The gramophone was taken backstage. The conference continued. Couple of hours later, in the afternoon session, Thomas Edison brings back the gramophone onto the stage, and he ons the gramophone, and out comes Max Muller's voice. The audience was thrilled. They applauded, and then Thomas Edison requested Max Muller to say a few words. Max Muller came on the stage. He said, "My dear audience, I know it's a great occasion for us, and it's my honor to be the first human to record his voice in human history, in our history. But did you recognize as to what did I speak into the gramophone?" The audience was a bit confused. They thought, some thought it was English, some thought it was Spanish, French, they were from different parts of Europe. So they thought maybe it is some other related language, and none could really identify as to what did Max Muller really speak into the gramophone. And then Max Muller clarified. He said, my dear audience, when I was thinking as to what should I speak into the gramophone, what should be that first thing that I think is worthy of being recorded in human history, my conscience told me that I should actually go back to the Vedas. Because that's the oldest body of knowledge. So what I mentioned in the gramophone was the first mantra from the Rig Veda, Om Agni Mile Prohitam Yajyasya Deva Mritvijam Hotaram Ratnahara. So the importance of Vedas and as to why it is the oldest, considered the oldest body of knowledge is something that we need to realize. Let me give you another perspective to it. Because remember, the Shastras say that we need there are three types of evidences or three types of praman based on which we accept something or don't accept something. The three types of pramans are Pratyaksh praman, Anuman praman and Shabda praman. So Pratyaksh praman is when you see something yourself. Shabda praman is when you hear someone, some scholar speak or read some authentic book and you agree that okay, because it is in this book, that's why I agree. That is Shabda praman. Pratyaksh is when you see with your own eyes or you feel yourself. Anuman praman is when you estimate something. Anuman praman is critical thinking. Right? The earth goes around the sun, sun goes around the earth. We all know the earth goes around the sun. To me, it visibly looks the sun goes around the earth, the sun rises in the east, sets in the west. By Pratyaksh praman, it looks to me the other way around. Right? So, the three types of praman, we all keep relying on Pratyaksh praman, Anuman praman and Shabda praman. Anuman praman is estimation. So, let me now go back to the Vedas and help you understand a bit from Anuman praman as well. So, how did we learn? We're all educated people sitting out here. We have multiple doctors also out here today. How did we learn? How did we study? Someone taught us. Right? How did we learn? How did a teacher learn? The teacher learned from his or her teacher. Maybe you read a book. That book also was written by an author. That is also in a way a teacher. Or you watch an online video. Once again, there is a teacher at the back. How did that teacher learn? Through his teacher. How did his teacher learn? Through his teacher. Right? Where did this stop? Do you think human beings can learn completely on their own? The answer is no. You have seen those concept of feral childs, or let's think about it. You put a newborn baby in a nicely ventilated room. Keep giving it food for 20 years. Right? Give it all the comfort. Make it air conditioned, make it nicely airy, etc., all that. But no human interaction. Only just keep giving it food every day. No learning, nothing. Will the child be able to himself gain any kind of knowledge? The answer is definitely no. We all need to learn the basics, the fundamentals from a teacher. And once we learn the fundamentals, then maybe yes, we are able to derive new knowledge through research. That's possible. But the basis, the fundamental of it has to be learned from a teacher or an authentic body of knowledge. We cannot completely produce entire knowledge. These Vedas, to my mind, are that ultimate body of knowledge. This is that teacher of teacher of teacher of teacher of teacher. That starting point, that initial point, that has to be something. And that, to my mind, are the Vedas. And very interestingly, unlike if you look at the other holy books, Vedas don't talk only about worship. It talks about multiple aspects of life. You go to a shop and you buy a washing machine. Along with the washing machine, you get a simple booklet called an operating manual. That helps you understand as to how to run this washing machine, how to possibly repair this washing machine. Right? You have all those instructions. My dear audience, think about it, the Anuman praman. When this entire world was created, such a complex universe, complex human beings, shouldn't there have been some kind of an operating manual? That operating manual, to my mind, is the Vedas. Vedas talk about worship, Vedas talk about as to how, talks about, how do you maintain human health, that's Ayurveda. You talk about science, you talk about your architecture, you talk about music, you talk about various aspects of life. And that, to my mind, is the core essence of the knowledge that we gain. And these two put together is what I would call is the Vedic Dharma. This is what, even before this 2000 years, before any of the modern religions were born, human beings followed the Vedic Dharma. And this Vedic Dharma is what is eternal. Now in this context, I will take a couple of minutes to help you understand as to what is Arya Samaj and how does that fit in. So this Vedic Dharma, as time progressed, post Mahabharata war, there's a huge decline. And in the name of the Vedas, lot of superstitious beliefs did enter the society. People did not learn the Vedas properly, did not learn Sanskrit properly, and they said that obeying Vedas there's animal sacrifice. In Vedas there is casteism. In Vedas there is sati. In Vedas there is untouchability. All this were ascribed to the Vedas. But no one was really learning it properly. And also, as the Mughals came in, as the Britishers came in, they didn't understand the best way to break a society is to make them look down upon their own culture. So a lot of things were also deliberately, we were made to believe that this is what we stand for. Untouchability is what we stand for. Casteism is what we stand for. Animal sacrifice is what we stand for. All these aspects we were in a way made to believe in our subconscious mind. Go back to the 19th century, 1800s. That's how the Indian society was in deep darkness. And that's where Swami Dayananda Saraswati, who was born to a typical Brahmin Gujarati family, right? He got that huge source of inspiration and strongly felt that Vedas should mean something more. If Vedas really mean untouchability, Vedas really mean casteism, I don't think that is what the Vedas tend to say. This looks like extremely narrow, interpretation by the general, people at that point of time. And that's when he went into very deep study of the Shastras, deep study of Sanskrit, and that's when he wrote his magnum opus called Satyat Prakash. And he mentioned to the general public that listen, Vedas are actually truly universal, they are truly secular, they don't talk about casteism, they talk only about Varna. I will not give detail right now, which is not birth-based. Which is not birth-based. Vedas are for everyone. Women also should be able to access Vedas, right? And all these things of untouchability, casteism, etc., the way the Hindu society has been broken is something that needs to be definitely questioned. And then he set up the Arya Samaj in 1875 in Mumbai, and as the first Arya Samaj, bringing together people who believe that this is the right interpretation of Vedas, that make Vedas truly secular, universally applicable, and that can be followed by everyone, less ritualistic but more knowledgeable. So that's the broad concept. I just thought I'll place before you. I know we're running out of time. There's 10-15 minutes at least, a broad concept on what the Vedic Dharma means, how is it relevant to the Arya Samaj, and how we can use this body of knowledge for us to be able to follow Dharma in our everyday lives. It's easier said than done. We think, okay, I want to be a good person, I want to follow integrity, I want to follow honest, I want to speak the truth, but there are multiple situations in life, every day, wherein we slip. How do we ensure that we don't slip and we retain onto the right path? And that's where Dharma comes in. Dharma is a Sanskrit non-translatable, but if you still want to give English word to it, it is equal to spirituality. And religion is different. So in that context, I wish to move on, and today, as Kripaji was mentioning, we have with us a few very special guests. Why the special guests? Because they have also followed dharma. We have the National Doctors Day on July 1st every year, which is dedicated to Dr. D.C. Roy. Dr. D.C. Roy was born the year 1882. He passed away at the age of 80 in 1962. He was the first Chief Minister of West Bengal, but more importantly, he was a very compassionate and a very service-oriented doctor. Going back to the Shastras, the Ayurveda, there are two key branches. So there's Ayurveda and there are two key treatises written, which is the Charak Samhita and Shushruta Samhita. Charak Samhita talks about from a physician's perspective. Shushruta Samhita talks about from a surgery perspective. And the Charak Samhita says one very interesting shloka, which I think is hugely relevant to the doctors present here today. Why is it relevant to them? Because from the Arya Samaj, as part of our service that initiative, we started this unique initiative called Prashasti or medical guidance, which was started about 3 to 4 years back, pre-COVID, much before COVID rather, and the whole idea was that can we partner with like-minded, service-oriented doctors who most importantly have a sense of compassion and service. We all know how the medical industry evolves. We understand the way challenges, there are multiple challenges that exist both for medical professionals and for the pharmaceutical industry, the different stakeholders, the medical professionals, the pharmaceutical industry, there are public, right, for the consumers. Different challenges exist for all these stakeholders, right? But even beyond these challenges, we felt we launched an initiative wherein we provide guidance alone to multiple people. We started first with D.A.V teachers, with Arya members, and now it has spread beyond. We also have this initiative right now and also running in the city of Calcutta, wherein we also get a lot of queries from there. It has expanded. But all this has been possible because a few people decided to keep following dharma. So citing this particular shloka from the Charak Samhita, it says, Maitri karunyam arteshu shakye priti rupekshanam prakritistheshu bhuteshu vaidya vritischa chaturvidheti. This particular shloka, it uses the word vaidya. So as we know in doctors are called as vaidya. And it says, vaidya needs to have 4 key qualities. The Shastras say. 4 key qualities. The first quality says Maitri. Maitri means sense of friendliness. Right? You go to a doctor, right? One doctor talks to you nicely, you feel much better, isn't it? Right? So there is Maitri. And then there is Karunya. Karunya is nothing but Karuna. Karuna is what? Compassion. There is compassion. The third it says is attachment towards those whom the doctor believes that he can be made all right. See, the Shastras divide patients into 2 broad categories. One is those patients who can be cured. But then there is definitely a significant group that can not be cured because death is also eternal. And death is certain. Right? So no Vaidya, no doctor can claim to be able to cure everyone. That's a fact of life. So the Shastras divides patients into 2 buckets, those that can be cured and those that cannot be cured. And the Shastras say, Maitri and Karuna is for everyone. Maitri and Karuna is for both these kind of patients. With those who can be cured, the Vaidya also develops a sense of attachment. Right? Because you work towards it to ensure that he quickly gets cured. The Shastras also talk about the last category, which is patients who cannot be cured. And the Shastras say over there it is best for the doctor to have a sense of detachment of the patient. Right? Because there is bound to happen. No one can stop death. Right? So there one should not really get too attached and get too emotional about it. Then you will not be able to perform your dharma. So doctors present over here today, we have 7 doctors who are present here today. We have been an external, a very integral part of this medical guidance initiative. I will request Dr. Kripa over here to please take forward the felicitation program about 5 to 7 minutes, and then we will try and close the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I think I'm also for sharing about Vedic Dharma to us, and now we move on to the felicitation. I request Dr.
Naturopathy and Yoga Initiative of the D.A.V group. We take this moment to offer our pranams to all the physicians and healthcare professionals who have been helping us. Now we have with us, first we call upon Dr. D.A.V, the head consultant in charge of the critical care unit of Apollo Specialty Hospital, Tenampet. We request Shri Vikas Arya ji to felicitate Dr. D.A.V.
ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्वाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न ताक्षयो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु।
Next we call upon Dr. Vaidishwaran Velayudham, a reputed GI cancer surgeon and expert in minimally invasive surgery, the medical director of Equitas Hospital. We request Shri Lalit Nangya ji to felicitate Dr. Vaidishwaran.
ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्तरङ्गे सुष्ठवां स्वस्तनो विवसेमहिते वहितं यदायुः।
Next we have Dr. Sriram. In the principles of Prashasti, we offer a holistic medical guidance. Dr. Sriram is an Ayurvedic practitioner at the Patanjali Hospital in Anna Nagar. We request Shri Piyush Arya ji to felicitate Dr. Sriram.
ओम स्वस्ति पंथा मनुचरेव सूर्यचन्द्रमसाविव पुनर्दयताग्निता जानता संगमे महि।
Thank you, sir. Next we call upon Dr. Vineet Ratra, a senior consultant ophthalmologist at the Shankar Netralaya, Chennai. We request Shri Atul Nangya ji to felicitate Dr. Vineet Ratra.
ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धस्वाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न ताक्षयो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु।
Thank you, sir. We now invite Dr. Dhanashree Latra, a senior consultant vitreoretinal surgeon at the Shankar Netralaya. We request Shri Yogesh Kalia ji to felicitate Dr. Dhanashree Latra.
ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्तरङ्गे सुष्ठवां स्वस्तनो विव्यसेमहिते वहितं यदायुः।
Thank you, ma'am. We now invite Dr. Lavanya, who is a psychiatrist who works with the Department of Psychiatry at the Rajiv Gandhi Government General Hospital and Madras Medical College. We request Shri Krishnani ji to felicitate Dr. Lavanya.
ओम स्वस्ति पंथा मनोजयेम सूर्यचन्द्रमसाविव पुनर्दयताग्निता Janita Sangame Magi.
Thank you, ma'am. We now invite Dr. Azim Soundarya Kumaravelu, Associate Consultant in Radiation Oncology at the Rela Hospital. We invite Nishi Nangya ji to felicitate Dr. Azim Soundarya Kumaravelu. Dr. Soundarya is the wife of Dr. Prasad, who is another doctor who is helping us a lot with our medical oncology. We invite Nishi Nangya ma'am.
Om Swasti na Indro Bridhasya Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti na Kakshayo Ariskanemi Swasti no Brihaspati Dadatu.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have our own alumni, Shri Vanshika Arya ji. She is pursuing her MBBS at the Madras Medical College. We are proud of her and we invite Didipya ji, Dr. Didipya to felicitate Dr. Vanshika. To be doctor.
Om Bhadram Karnehi Pranayama Deva Bhadram Kasema Shairya Jatraha Isarane Sustavam Swastano Virasema Ideva Itam Yadayu.
We take this moment to thank our other doctors, Dr. Sridhar, Dr. Haripriya, Dr. Raghuram, Dr. Bhuvana, Dr. Radhika, Dr. Prasad, Dr. Satish, Dr. Krishna Sagaram, Dr. Tejasvi Marla, Dr. Maithili, Dr. Mangalam, Dr. Karanjay, Dr. Sujata Venmurugan, Dr. Pungadi Bola, Dr. Anand, Dr. Arun, Dr. Sapnashri, Dr. Madhu Kartish, and this is only a very, very limited list. We have so many doctors, healthcare professionals who have been helping with this initiative. We now hand over the mic to Shri Vikas Arya ji to speak a few words.
Wonderful service by all of them. Lakshmi ji has been starting doing them at the beginning. And then the new team members who joined us, Neha ji, Dr. Ambuda, Anand ji, and Shanmuga Priya ji. They joined the team as the team got built up, right, providing some excellent service. Neha ji spent some time at the Tata Cancer Hospital in Mumbai, and then she joined us now here. Dr. Amuda is a naturopathy doctor, also a D.A.V. alumna. She studied D.A.V. girls Gopalapuram 2016 batch. 2015 batch, she finished her degree in naturopathy and she joined us. She also did the yoga session. Anand ji is a person whom you can call even at night, 12 o'clock. And he will be there at the hospital. He will be there physically at the hospital, right? To support every patient irrespective of caste, creed, economic status, right? Comes with a significant service mindset where it's so helpful for patients. Today, nuclearized families, right? People don't have enough family support, and when they reach out, right, and they're able to be there also, not only through telephone, which is the intellectual input, but also be there on the ground, and sometimes help them with the billing, help them with some, some core things at the point of time. Goes a very, very long way in providing true relief to lot of people in Chennai now, and as I mentioned, this is also spread to Calcutta. Shanmuga Priya is a recent most addition to the team, but to the entire team and the doctors present over here, our humble pranams and best wishes to all of them.